Welcome to Croxton Family Racing. We have another race day in the round of 64 in our League of Champions, where 68 teams compete for supremacy and over 300 cars compete for individual honors. Our first matchup today is Team Mazda-Subaru against the Four Horsemen, followed by Team Lotus versus the Passenger Transports, the Old Timers versus the Police Squad, and finally the Beasts versus Team Porsche. First up is 8-seated Team Mazda-Subaru versus 25-seated Four Horsemen. And up first for Team Mazda-Subaru is the 89 Mazda Savannah RX-7 FC35. He has a clean run through, straight into bucket 2, 5 points. Good start off for his team. As the round progresses further, it's interesting to see because the lower seeded teams may end up having a big upset, and the longer we go, the bigger the upset. Next up for the Four Horsemen is the 1969 Copo Corvette, and he has a smooth and solid run through into bucket 2, tying things up at 5. Evenly matched starters to each team, tied up at 5, and now the Team Mazda Subaru's white Subaru WRX STI is up next. Few additions to these races have come each time. We appreciate all the comments and feedback that we've been getting, so keep them coming, keep putting them out. And he has a clean run into bucket 2, 5 points for his team. They are now up 10-5. That'll bring up the Four Horsemen 1981 Thunderburner. He gets a clean launch, but he falls out of the loop. 0 points for his team. They are now behind by 5. Well, it doesn't mean they're completely out of it, but it is always less likely the further down we go in the team on who's going to get more points. Next up for Team Mazda-Subaru is the orange 1968 Mazda Cosmo Sport. And he's clean all the way through until the jailbreak, where he tumbles out and into bucket 2. Another 5 points for his team. They are now up 15-5. Not looking good for the Four Horsemen. They need a comeback. Perhaps the Four Horsemen's white Audi 1990 Quattro is one to do it. And he has a clean run through the loop, out the jailbreak, and into bucket 2, 5 points for his team. Brings it back a little bit. It is now 15-10. Another 5 points will surely seal this one up, so let's see if Team Mazda-Subaru's Mazda RX-7 can put it away. He doesn't do it, falls out of the loop, leaves the door open for the Four Horsemen to come back. It is still 15-10, and last up for the Four Horsemen is Maximum Leeway. His poor performance in the seeding rounds does not bode well, but let's see if he can do it. And he does not. He gets launched straight off the track. I don't know if there was a mechanical malfunction there or if his tire blew, but it does not do it. 0 points for his team. Team Mazda-Subaru is going to take this one. Let's see if the last member of their team can get some more points for their team. And with a soft kiss to the loop launcher, he does not do it. 0 points for them. This one's going to end up Team Mazda-Subaru with 15 and Four Horsemen with 10. Seeing where everybody finished, we have 5 in bucket 2. 3 from Team Mazda-Subaru and 2 from Four Horsemen. They each have one that fell out of the loop, and finally the last one that didn't even make the loop. That's the final. Team Mazda-Subaru at 15, the Four Horsemen at 10. The Four Horsemen are eliminated, and with that, the next teams up are Team Lotus versus Passenger Transports. The copper Lotus Emira leading it off for Team Lotus. And in a stunner, the top performer on their team in the seeding rounds gets 0 points for their team. That is going to put them behind, starting this off. They are seeded 8, and the other team is seeded 25, so perhaps they can still pull this through. The Passenger Transport's red Time Taxi has a nice, smooth run through the loop, out of the jailbreak, and clean off the table into bucket 3 for 6 points, putting their team at a very healthy advantage. The pressure's on for Team Lotus's Lotus Esprit to get some points for his team. And he has a clean launch. Clean through the loop, clean out the jail, and into bucket 2 for 5 points for his team. They are only down by 1 now. With 2 racers having gone for Team Lotus and still being down by 1, it is the Passenger Transports in the driver's seat, so to speak, to keep the pressure on. Shoebox Taxi for the Passenger Transports has a clean launch, but he falls out of the loop. The pressure does not stay on. 0 points for their team. They are still ahead by 1. It is 6-5. Team Lotus up next. The silver Lotus Emira will now try and put his team back up in front. And he also chokes through the loop, falls out of it. 0 points for his team. Passenger Transport still ahead 6-5. With the Street Surfing School Bus up next for Passenger Transports. One of my favorites, my daughter and I painted this one together. He has a clean launch, but does not make it through the loop. 0 points for his team, but Passenger Transports is still ahead, 6-5. Team Lotus needs to do something soon, or it will be too late. With the blue Lotus Emira up next for Team Lotus, he's going to have to do something. He has a clean launch into the loop, but again, the Emiras have failed. 0 points despite their good efforts in the seeding rounds. Passenger Transport still up 6-5 over Team Lotus. With the teal surfing school bus up next for Passenger Transports. And he is clean into the loop, but falls out. 0 points for them. This is turning out to be a really unexpected performance by both teams, with Passenger Transports being ahead, still by 1. The Lotus Project M250 for Team Lotus has a clean launch, but dies out, and he has 0 points. Passenger Transports unexpectedly is going to take this one 6-5. They have several cars left to race to see if they can get their team a few more points or even themselves individually. And with just a little kiss of the loop launcher, the glitter limousine for Passenger Transports is not going to do it. 0 points for him. It is still 6-5. Passenger Transports over Team Lotus, and this is one of the biggest upsets of the tournament so far. The City Mayor limousine for Passenger Transports has a smooth launch, but he fades out after the curve and gets 0 points for his team. It's not going to matter though. Passenger Transport's still ahead. They can only improve their individual and team score at this point. With the 2007 Cadillac Escalade Taxi as the last member to go for the Passenger Transports, he does not go far, and it is 0 points for them, but it does not matter. Passenger Transports take this one 6-5 in a huge upset over Team Lotus. The Bucket 3 finish by Passenger Transports there. That is the deciding factor in this one. 1 in Bucket 3 for them, and 1 in Bucket 2 for Team Lotus. The rest of them fall back by the loop. We're a little bit behind. Final score is Team Lotus 5 and Passenger Transport 6. Team Lotus is eliminated. Next up is the Old Timers versus the Police Squad. The leadoff for the Old Timers is the 1956 Cadillac Eldorado. He has a clean run until he makes it to the loop, and then he gets pile drive straight out of it. 0 points to lead off his team. Not all that surprising, they are seeded 26th, whereas the Police Squad is seeded 7 with the 2007 Chevy Tahoe Police. He makes a clean run through the loop, out the tail and into Bucket 2 for 5 points. His team is now ahead 5-0. Police Squad is seeded 7th. The Old Timers are seeded 26th. So let's see if the Mercedes 540K for the Old Timers can get some points for his team. Well, he didn't go too far into the loop before he came crashing down for 0 points. Old Timers still at 0. They're going to have to find a way to get some points here. Next up for Police Squad is going to be the Alpha Pursuit Police. He has a clean launch, clean through the loop, clean out the jail, and straight into Bucket 2. 5 points. Looks like the police are going to run away with this one. They were heavily favored in this matchup, and it is looking like that is the way it's going to be, unless a miracle happens. Hopefully Auburn 852 for the Old Timers can be that miracle. And he is not. 0 points for the Old Timers. Next up for Police Squad is the Gotham City 2011 Dodge Charger RT. And another clean run. 5 points into Bucket 2. They have 1. There's nothing more the Old Timers can do. Maybe the last one on their team can make a show of it, get some points. And the last one up for the Old Timers will be the 1941 Vauxhall. And he doesn't even trigger the loop launch. 0 points. Old Timers does not score a single point. Police Squad has 1, and they have many cars left to go, including their next competitor, the Mustang GT Concept. He has a clean run through the loop, out the jail and into Bucket 2. Another 5 points for Police Squad. Well, the shutout points keep stacking on. 20-0 with the Cadillac CN up next for Police Squad. With a clean launch, clean into the loop. Oh, and he stalls out before the jail. First DNF for Police Squad. 0 points for him. Still 20-0. And with one of the oldest cars I have, this is the 1980 Pontiac Bonneville Police Squad. And his run was another DNF. 0 points for him, still 20-0. Next up for Police Squad is the Gray Police Cruiser. He was a color changer a long time ago. He's still got a little bit faded of both print and police. And the Taxi, Star Taxi as I recall. And he does not finish either, 0 points. And now the Black Police Cruiser for Police Squad is up. Let's see if he can do better than his counterpart. And he does not. It is 0 points for him, a DNF. And it's looking like it's going to remain 20-0. With the last for Police Squad to go is the Ford Police. Not sure who actually makes this car. I don't believe it's a Hot Wheels. It makes 0 difference with the DNF and 0 points. So Police Squad will finish this one up 20-0 against the Old Timers. Looking back over the track, we see 4 competitors for Police Squad in Bucket 2. And another one right there by the jail. Oh, several Old Timers and police cars. A very lopsided victory here. Police Squad ends up with 20 points, Old Timers with none. Old Timers will be eliminated. Beasts versus Team Porsche. Our final matchup for the day with Cargoyle for Beasts going first. Well, it's a mostly clean run with a little bit of a bounce out of the jail, which stalls out his speed. He only lands in Bucket 1 for 4 points. Top 3 for each team will be taken. We'll see what the points are at the end. With the white Porsche 911 Carrera RS 2.7, Team Porsche up next. And his run is clean into Bucket 2 for 5 points, putting them in the lead by 1 over the Beasts. Having a lot of cars on your team doesn't do any good if none of them can score points. So we'll see if Turboa for the Beasts can do anything for his team. He does get a nice launch. He does go into the loop, but does not come out of it. 0 points with the DNF for the Beasts. Looks like it's remaining 4-5. They're still down by 1. And next up for Team Porsche is the Porsche 911 Speedster. And he almost makes it, but dies in the jail, flipping over on his lid. 0 points for him. It still leaves it 5-4, leaving an open door for the Beast to come back. Vampiro will try and do just that. With a clean launch. He also does not make it through. 0 points, DNF. It is still 4-5. They're still 1 down. With their top 3 already having gone, looks like the Beasts are going to struggle to get any more points out of this. With the Porsche 934 Turbo RSR, who fails to trigger the loop launch and gets 0 points. DNF for him. The Beasts have a chance, but it's a slim one. These guys did not compete well in the seeding rounds. Shark Cruiser will try his best for the Beasts. And he does trigger the loop launch, but falls out of it. So he will get 0 points with the DNF. Even with all these cars left, based on previous performance, I just don't see any way back for him. We'll see if the Purple Evil Weevil for the Beasts can do anything. He does have a clean launch, goes into the loop, but does not make it out. 0 points for him. And what's worst is the Beast still are down by 1. Next up for the Beast will be the Ratmobile. If you notice as these races are going on, you see those cars set up on the table in their brackets. The cars facing towards the center have already won their race. Ratmobile gets 0 points, and the Beasts are looking like they're not going to get ahead of Team Porsche here. It's probably going to finish like this, but with 3 chances left, anything can happen. The Teal Evil Weevil also gets 0 points. Well, despite how cool these cars actually look, some of my favorites, this may not be their event. We'll see if Rodzilla for the Beasts can do any better. And he doesn't. A wobbly start caused him to lose all his speed. Doesn't even make it into the loop. 0 points for him, and 1 left for the Beasts. Maybe a miracle shot. Last up for the day is Fangster for the Beasts. And his launch is pitiful. He barely even moves. 0 points. So that's how it's going to turn out. Looks like Team Porsche is going to take this one by 1 point. Squeaks a victory over the Beasts. As we do our walkthrough, we see 1 in Bucket 2 for Team Porsche, 1 in Bucket 1 for the Beasts, and everybody else is behind, all the way back and around the curve to Fangster in the way back. The final for this one, Team Porsche finishes with 5 and the Beasts finish with 4. The beasts are eliminated. As we look at the Western bracket, we can see Team Mazda-Subaru will advance. They will be facing Precious Metals in the next round. Moving on over to our Eastern bracket, we see the Police Squad moves on, and they will be facing Smash Brothers in the next round. And our cross to our Southern bracket, we have Team Porsche moving on. They will be facing Team Nissan in the next round. And finally up to our Northern bracket, we see the Passenger Transports have the biggest upset of the tournament so far. They will be facing Code Red in the following round. That's all our racing for today, and the round continues. Thanks for watching. Subscribe and like our channel. Pleasure having you with us. More racing coming soon. I'm Adam Croxton for Croxton Family Racing. See you next time.